welcome everybody. This is the Pokemon Speedruns podcast, Season 2, Episode 15. Today we have our three usual hosts. My name is Eddaket, and along with me are Iron.
Hello.
And Jordan97.
Hello.
All right. So before we get into the notable runs, just thank you for bearing with us being a week late. We were all a bit preoccupied last weekend, two of us at GDQ and one of us at a sort of other traveling adventure. So we are here today, but starting next month, we should be back on the normal schedule. And yeah, the only other thing before we start jumping into the various records for the month, because there are a lot of them, is that Pokemon Snap, the N64 version of Pokemon Snap, has been released on Nintendo Switch Online. And the first runs for that have been submitted. So if you've wanted to get into the game, don't have an original N64, don't want to emulate, don't want to do Virtual Console, you can jump onto the Nintendo Switch Online version. And I think that should be it. We should be good to go into the first notable run.
Okay, yeah, we'll be talking briefly about the snap runs as well later on. So
yeah.
First up, we got quite a few from the Game Boy Advance series of games this month, or this past 5 weeks, I guess. First up is Polka Guy. This is second place, 1 second off world record. Very solid time, 1:45.06. He did lose red bar on Bruno. Guess he just needed more damage from the setup there. Didn't get it, and you lose a bit of time obviously doing that with the red bar and everything else going the same. This would have definitely been a new top time, but very good time regardless. I don't know if you guys know, is he still going for record in this, or is he moved on?
I'm not too sure. I mean, from at least the fact that there's no webcam there, I assume this was like an offline attempt. So I don't know if it was like
Yeah.
practice and then just happened to get on a really good run, or just being on an offline grind because of like been working and just not having enough time to stream.
Yeah, looking at his Twitch, it looks like it's still going for runs. So
that's good.
Might see back on the podcast next month.
Essentially, I think I also remember seeing it was like literally one wing attack as well would have meant world record.
Oh yeah. Depending on what that Pidgeot does.
Quite unfortunate,
yeah.
But also fortunate enough to even like 1 second off really. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, considering the lead he had, we were looking at potentially like a lowish 144, so it's a bit unfortunate. But that's how things go. Next up, we have a new record in Catch-em-all by Sadosh, 131.31, which, as Jordan has pointed out in our podcast notes, this is a palindrome. The same time, or the 131.31 is the same backwards. So a neat little tidbit there. I don't know too much about this category or this run in general, but it's very, very fast, very glitched run. Very execution heavy, as Gen 1 typically is. So
yeah, I think there've been, I'm not too well versed on what the changes were, but I think there've been some changes in the last couple months. Just small optimizations to the route, so I'm sure that definitely helped drive the time down. I want to say the last record was like a 132. So saving basically another minute off of that is really cool.
Yeah, I feel like we did cover a recent record in this in a previous podcast recently. Let me just check to see what the previous one was. Yeah, we probably would have covered Grogear. He got 130, below 132 3 months ago. So
that's 3 months.
There you have it.
Time flies.
In March, yeah. So it would have been in the April podcast. Congrats to Sadosh on that. I don't know where Sadosh was time-wise compared to before, but we have a top 3 European runners in this category now, which is pretty interesting because glitchless is almost all US.
Well, I think funny enough, because like I know it's on bottom before I switched over here. I think his prior PB was a 1:32.32. So I
Okay, she would
assume
have still been top 3, I think. Yeah.
would have been top 3, but also just funny the fact going from 32-32 to 31-31. Another fun.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, and then the next notable run is, as you can tell, based on the screen, another very glitched run. This time in Pokemon Yellow, and this is No Save Corruption by Huanli. So Huanli once again putting up a very good time, notable run in the podcast, and this is record as well. 12:26 is the time. I don't know too much about this one either, but I do. There's some weird thing that happens in the forest with glitches and whatnot. It's pretty interesting to watch.
Yeah, so at least to my knowledge, I think it was either last month or the month before, there was Stochi who rerouted a lot of this.
Oh yeah, yep.
I believe that the Metapod there might be a slight adjustment as well, because I thought the old one was towards Route 24 or 5, where you fight the rival on the way to the Elite Four.
22.
Oh, 20, okay.
Yeah.
Not a Gen 1 person. But yeah, so I believe it used to be done there, but just then looking, it seemed like that was below Giovanni's gym. And also as well, this I believe is also, so like the run before this, Wanley got a 12:36, which was the world record then as well. So it was like back to back, not only back to back runs, which is apparently hard enough on No Save Corruption, but back to back.
Yeah, I think on the screen we see a comment in his chat, third WR in a day. So yeah. He might have actually gotten it. This might have been his third.
Yeah. Wait, that'd be wild. Actually, just check. Yeah, it was a 12:36. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, that is very impressive.
Okay, again, congrats to Wanley on that. Next up, we're gonna dive into Gen 3. So we have 2 Fire Red notable runs to point out. The first is tied world record on the emulator side on 90% with On and On. So On and On and Kuker have kind of been the top 2 emulator runners of this game for pretty much the last couple of years. Kuker recently improved his record, and then now On and On has tied it. And On and On's been put a lot of time into this category. He's also done a lot of alt mains. He's doing a bit of I think he's doing Charizard now, but very, very solid time on the emulator side of things. High to 2 hours, so very, very good. This run had the typical Fire Red Leaf Green luck, a lot of Mega Kick misses, a lot of the odd Blizzard miss here and there. Didn't have the best start. It was a very high 44 surge, but able to pull it out at the end down the back stretch. So congrats to On and On for that. This run had, he says he pointed out he had 27 speed as well, which is not the highest speed you would run for this, but there are some issues with that you have to consider. Notably, Sabrina, I believe you have to X speed on that fight, so that adds a little bit of risk. But nevertheless, very good time for On and On. Congrats to him for that.
Yeah, just a couple of things, because like this is tied with Kuka now. Kuka runs even slower speeds, right? So like, it was a slower speed Squirtle, if I remember correctly.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So like 27 must be like speedy in comparison.
I can't remember exactly what Kuger's was. I could check, but yeah, having faster speed just has been. It doesn't mean it will always be like a faster run than a slower speed. Like it's only a couple different IVs and difference, but it can make a huge difference. And we've seen some really good times with very slow Squirtles before, so it can be done. It's obviously not preferable for top times. Let me just quickly pull up Kuker's run.
Yeah, because
Cooker had 28 speed.
oh, 28. Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
Never
Although
mind. I'm
that
wrong.
was, yep, he had 28. Yeah.
Okay.
It definitely had lower IVs across the board, though.
Fair enough.
Cooker's good at taking mediocre Squirtles and making them champions.
Yeah. And then quickly, second thing, bit of behind the scenes action for everyone. I apologize because I forgot to share the screen. You can that should be available, so there's a bit of lag now for at least for you. I know.
Oh, there we go.
I'm rusty. I'm blaming Rust on this. It's been a bit.
All good.
On to the next run. Let you take it again.
Yeah, so we have another. Yep, this is another Fire and Leaf Green run by Truly. Second place in round 2 with a sub 3:30. That's a very, very good time for this category. Obviously, record is insanely good by Polka Guy. That's a 3. Is that a 3:27?
3:27 is and the Nano emulator. Polka Guy's a 3:28.
And Polka Guy's 3:28. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is about 45 seconds off of. Wait. Yeah. Close to 45 seconds off, which in a run with as much variance as this, that's quite impressive. I don't know too much about this run as well, but yeah, it looks like a really solid run across the board.
Yeah. From what I've been noticing, quite a few people. Maybe it's tailed off a tiny bit, but like it seems like a few people have been picking up Elite Four round 2 over the last few months, which is always good to see. I don't know if that's just because it was like the Fire Red Leaf Green tournament, and that's got people wanting just to play the game in general again, but maybe they got a bit burnt out on any percent. Maybe.
Yeah, this is definitely a much more fun category to run, although it can be frustrating, obviously, at times, but it's definitely a nice change of pace.
Yeah, definitely one of the more unique runs, especially for earlier generation. Feel like.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Needing to catch Pokemon. And with Let's Go, obviously, that's one that's a newer game that's also very, very fun category, but that's more of a newer game, so it's kind of cool to see an older game with this kind of category for sure.
Right.
And you can do a catch 'em all or a catch type goal and in many runs, but this is a main series category, which makes it even more cool.
Yeah, I think the only one that's, I guess like Gen 1 with Catch Them All, and then
yeah,
Let's Go will be the other one, I think. Oh, the only other one that you got like catch them for a main leaderboard run.
Legends does now.
And Legends, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a game. That is a game that I should have remembered that one, to be fair. That's bad on my end. Yeah, like Hulk and JD especially recent. There's even Legends Arceus run coming up, but we'll get to that later.
Ooh, okay. But yeah, I think that's it for the Gen 1 to 3. Congrats to all these runners on some great PBs. And we'll move on to we have one DS run as well. We don't have a DS specialist on our host team here, but we can try to go through this between the three of us. This is Minnow. Minnow's apparently back.
Yep.
Doing runs. This is White 2 20%.
White 2 20%. Marlon fight, the typical issue for White 2, and once again, it's like the go-to place I feel like I highlight now. I think the last 3 White 2 runs I have just highlighted this fight. It's just there's always something. This case getting burned, and then Escadrille dying.
Scald is a terrible move.
Oh yeah.
It's good for. Does Starmie use it in Let's Go?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So it's good there, but otherwise no.
Yeah. I guess a bit
I should know that
notable.
because I played that game.
Yeah. Just a bit notable, just in general for DS runs. I think this is the first main board DS world record in like 3 months.
It has been a bit.
It has been a bit. And then also the fact that it's Minno's first world record after coming back, I guess. Just quite a few notable things there. Hopefully there'll be some more DS runs coming up from Minnow and from everyone. I'll admit again because it's not a noted run. Go seems to be have done runs as well, so it's like people are coming back to the DS runs.
Yeah, Skoa is doing a lot of Super Mario 64. Now he seems like he's coming back, doing a little bit of Pokemon again, which is good to see. But there's been a lot of activity in the Manipulus categories for Heart Gold, Soul Silver. That's always a busy one, but that's not a main series game.
Oh yeah, not main leaderboard, I guess. Yeah. That should be insane. But yeah, if we go on to the 3DS runs now, well, there, if eddaket, you wanna?
Yeah, so this is Wartab just a few days ago getting the Pokemon X record, 340.41. This is the first 340, so another minute barrier taken off. Highlighted here, this is like a ridiculously good Viola split time with a 15:41. Usually 16s are what you're kind of like hoping for, and getting a 15 is kind of ridiculous. You can tell by the Quacklin's IVs, it's a really good Quacklin. The speed is always 31 IV, jolly, but the attack being as high as it is really good. And then basically kept the lead through most of the run. It looked like when I was sort of paging through, fell behind at Power Plant, but then was able to crawl it back. Looks like at the end game, so definitely a good improvement. And it's also worth noting that you can see the comparison over on the right side, the comp comparison. So I think we mentioned it last podcast, but the 3DS server is doing like a big competition with all the different games to basically see who can come up with the best set of PBs across the 4 3DS main series games. And so it's really, really cool and funny to see the record get improved during the competition, because the record is sort of how we do our baseline for the point system and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of funny that a new record was broken, but I guess that's kind of the point of the competition. So a really good run.
Yeah, because I mean, even before the competition, Wartab was like putting a lot of time into this category. And, he's improved it quite a few times now, so it's just even cool. It's just cool.
Yeah, I feel like the old record wasn't even that old. Yeah, the old record was from April.
Oh.
So it's like it wasn't even that old.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because this. Also, I think this must be the first. Like, this has to be the first one. So Headball, which will be the next one, and I'll just put that in the background now. Hey, this one was very close getting world record.
Yeah, this is like 5 seconds off, something like that.
Yeah, and you can see going to this fight as well ahead of time.
Yeah. So this is Headbob, a new second place in Alpha Sapphire any percent. So now Headbob has the record in Omega Ruby and second place in Alpha Sapphire. 254.54. Yeah, this looked like a really solid run. Looking at the early game was decent. Didn't lose too much time during the Latias section, which is always a concern with Alpha Sapphire runs. And then, the Kyogre, kind of mediocre stat wise, but the plus speed is actually really, really good for the Elite Four. So just sort of dealing with probably a couple extra ranges. I forget exactly the details behind what special attacks are good, but I mean, as long as it's not minus, it's at least somewhat decent.
When will eddaket take back RS world record?
Oh, never. I'm more or less done with the game.
Fair. Have you? I feel like we talked about it briefly, GDQ, but like, you're not like, you want to do like a few years challenge really, but just like a quick run through, not like focus, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to try and my Omega Ruby PB is totally improvable. So I would like to improve it, but I'm not really out to grind for a 302, or I guess 252 now. So we'll see how it goes. I know both my Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby PBs are both improvable. They both have an optional in them, so it's a matter of time once I sit down with the game. I just don't want to.
Yeah, and are you able to do you have just a 3DS in general, Ian? Because I actually not even too sure if you've had any interest with doing these.
Wait,
runs. With just like doing like a potato cam if you don't have a capture card for 3DS.
Oh, I don't have the console. No.
Oh, you still have the console? Fair.
No, the only console I have is Switch. I used to have Game Boy Advance and Game Boy way back, but
Yeah, fair enough. It is.
although I definitely, if I had the console, I would definitely play these games. They look like fun.
Yeah, it's a good set of games. I really like
Maybe
the
not Sun
engine
and
for
Moon, but
yeah, I like the engine for Gen
Maybe
6 a lot. So
Yeah. Gen 7 is actually really good games as well. People don't give them as much credit, I feel like. But that is just me. Maybe. Anyway, though, on to the Switch runs, because they distracted there with my questions that are not related to speedrunning. That's good.
yeah, so we have 3 Switch games or Switch runs to talk about. 2 of them are Japanese. This is the first one. This is Ringo getting a 357.20 in the any percent with DLC category. This is the category where you go through Dynamax Adventures, get a main Pokemon from that, and then speedrun the game. This is using Toxtricity. Toxtricity is an interesting case. It's not really seen as one of the best Pokemon, I don't think. But it has a good set of moves. It's got spread moves and discharge, and I think something is Boom Burst. I know Boom Burst is part of the move set. I don't know if it's a spread move, but
yeah, I don't know. I think it is. I think it is a spread move.
Yeah, Ringo's just an absolute beast at this game.
Yeah.
So it's not really surprising to see this run, but this is about a minute ahead of the English record, although this includes credits. So this is a few minutes faster than the English record. Obviously, with text speeds, it could be, comparable, but
yeah, who knows? I guess fully.
Yeah.
Like exactly knows.
Exactly. Yeah.
So for this category, with the Pokemon you get from Dynamax Adventures, it has 3 fixed 31 IVs, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like catching a legendary in a lot of the later games. 3 stats are 31
Okay.
IVs. Nature is random. So here, Adamant Toxtricity is not necessarily the best, but getting 31 special attack. Actually, I think for Dynamax Adventures, I want to say it's actually 4 stats at 31. Like I don't think Ringo actually got lucky to get 4 31s. I think it actually is guaranteed to have 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Has to do with like
Maybe.
the star level of the Dynamax Pokemon. I don't know. I forget.
Oh, that would make a lot more sense, yeah, because 5-star is guaranteed for IV.
Yeah.
So yeah, that should, yeah, I imagine that is probably 31 speed IV as well then. I guess just another thing to know, with this being on like Ringo getting this for Shield, that means he has both the Sword and the Shield Japanese.
Oh, I didn't even realize this was Shield. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So there's that. Ringo also has the, I'm almost certain has the Japanese any percent world records.
Yep.
Also has the English Shield world record. Not submitted, but he has that. But I don't believe he's gonna go for Shield at English at all. So
Okay.
bit of a shame. But he's also got a pre 1.2 patch version, so I perfectly understand why.
Yeah, and actually just looking at the comparison between the two, so this is about a minute 40 slower than Ringo's sword time.
Yeah. Which Sword uses Starmie, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Yes.
so Starmie would definitely be better than Toxtricity. Toxtricity is actually not a bad one for Shield now that I think about it, because like the main problem with Shield is dealing with like Melanie's Lapras, and also the Ice Q, and since Toxtricity is a special attacker, doesn't have to worry about the Ice Q, and probably goes right through the Lapras with electric moves, so probably actually a pretty decent choice for it.
Yeah. This is also I mean, like Shield is naturally slower.
Yes.
just having the extra Pokemon. It's not much, but
Yeah, there's the extra Pokemon, and then there's at least Mimikyu's disguise. Even if you can get through Ice Q's Ice Face, you still have to deal with disguise. So
yeah. We'll quickly go into the other Japanese run first, though, before we go into the final Switchboard record.
yeah, so this is Kitamura. I don't know if I said that correctly. I apologize if not. Legends Arceus any percent Japanese record, 344.04. This, I don't know a lot about the details about what was changed in this run. I do know that there are some routing differences that the English runners were maybe not surprised about, but at least like were commenting about in the Discord. And some of them seemed interesting, and some of them they didn't. Like the English runners either didn't know why they were doing it or didn't necessarily agree with the change. But overall, obviously, it worked out. Getting looks like about a 2.5 minute PB, and beat the old record. I want to say by about a minute. I want to say it was a 3:45 before.
Yeah, it's very high 344.
Okay.
344.58 by Shady.
Yeah, so taking the English or taking the Japanese record back from the English speaking community.
Yeah, yeah, because I know I'm just going back to like the rude differences. I think was the main difference it was 2 Sneaslers from.
Yeah, that was one of them. Doing the 2 Sneaslers instead of the Alpha Sneasel in Iceland's. There was also some stuff. I think they did Haunter at one point, which isn't used in the English record or English route. So there were some weird choices. I think I was at GDQ when they were having the conversation, so I didn't really fully read it, but it's exciting to see movement either way.
And go back, eddaket. I assume you know all about this
one. Yeah, so this was just a few days ago. This was the new Shining Pearl first place in any percent glitchless, 3:18.17. I've definitely been capable of this run for a little while, but I've been doing a ton of music on runs, like just getting ready for the GDQ run. But actually, something might actually make sense for a notable shout out. There's been a tool created to essentially detect where you are in the game and play the correct music. So
very cool,
as long as you have it set up correctly, it works really well. And that's what I was doing runs with here. This was a 3:18.17. This could have been about 45 seconds to a minute faster. I lost a ton of time in the Elite Four, and it was 100% due to mistakes. I, of course, highlighted here is the first of many mistakes I made. I X-speeded instead of X-defended, so I had to take a couple extra turns to make sure I survived against the golem. And then, ended up eking out my turbo time by about 15 seconds and beat the old record by about a minute, beat my old PB by about 3. So pretty solid run overall. Definitely improvable, but I'm moving over to Brilliant Diamond to try and get a sub 320 in that as well.
Getting the sweep, maybe.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Yeah, like full credit to like Fury. Is it Fury ST? I've never thought like the name full what it would actually said as, but yeah, shout out to
and
Fury.
I can I'll post the link to the tool in the chat. I think I'm the first one who's really been doing, like, Fury did like a trial run with it. I'm the first one that's like really using it, so we keep finding little issues that we're fixing, but overall it works really well. I think this run found 2 issues. One was related to like it not identifying that I went to Celestic Town, and the other one was actually something we didn't know. Apparently Spear Pillar is different between Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. The pillars are mirrored, and so they're in slightly different positions on the left and right side of the center path.
Oh wow.
And so they did their work with Brilliant Diamond, so when I did a Shining Pearl run, it didn't identify where I was because it couldn't, like, the map is slightly different. So kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really cool. Like from like a game, like just like if you would play like casually, play both versions, it's like the subtle little difference.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
But for making a program and you're not aware that's the difference, that's. I mean,
And it's like it is super subtle. Like I'll
Yeah.
post. We have a screenshot that was posted in my Discord. I'll post it in the chat. It is like you have to know that you're looking for it in order to see it. Like that's the kind of difference it is. So yeah, there's the clip. So on the left side is the Shining Pearl, and on the right side is Brilliant Diamond, and you can just see the pillars on the left and right are just swapped between the two games. And they're just different enough. They're just different enough.
Yeah, I'll try and remember to either put this or ask Ava to put this in the description.
Okay.
For the video, for anyone who's watching this on YouTube.
But yeah, the really no route changes for this run. I've been doing a slightly different version of the Kadabra experience in the early game. But I don't necessarily, it's more comfortable for me, but I don't necessarily know if it's any faster than what was done before. But
well, comfort's half the battle.
It's a new route. It's a new EXP route, right? Isn't it? It's not the one you were doing before, eddaket.
So it is basically the same as what I was doing before. Well, it's what I was doing right before Legends came out. I think I changed it up about a week before Legends came out, and then everybody, including me, dropped this game when Legends came out. So I hadn't done a ton of runs until I was preparing for GDQ. And like I said, it feels really good, but whether or not it's actually faster, you basically fight one less trainer, but you have to get like more money items and things like that to essentially get another calcium, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of a complicated thing I don't want to get into, but yeah, I think it feels better, like I said. So
yeah, it's kind of funny seeing all the different variants of the Kaza roading.
Well, it's funny too because we all have slightly different experience routes, and it's like the experience is so tight on all of our routes that it's like it's amazing that we're actually able to fight an extra trainer here or skip it and do different party swaps later on, and it ends up working out the same in the end. It's just such a complicated route, so.
So yeah, that's all the Switch runs.
Yep.
Yeah,
that is it for Switch.
So let's go on to the side games, and starting off with Pokemon Stadium 2 by Worcester. So this is Gym Leader Castle Round 1, specifically it's a new world record of a 2:03:27. There's been some discoveries. I could just say what those are, but I'll be honest, I am not fully sure what it means. But there was they've adjusted teams pretty much to basically manip what their opponents will do. Worcester made the pace bin. This I will also try and remember to put in the description. But if you want to have a look at that in chat, there's another pace bin in the pace bin by someone who figured like a more in-depth one. That was made by not Worcester. I don't know who made it. My apologies. So if you want to read into that, give that a read. There is definitely some interesting stuff in there. It is not something that would be suitable to explain on the podcast right now. So we'll move on to the Snap Any Percent on Switch. Nintendo Switch Online. It's as part of the expansion pass. I don't remember. Is it like expansion pass to the online? I don't remember what it's exactly called, but basically pay more money, you get Nintendo 64 games as well now. But yeah, it's now meant that All Snap, I'm going to call it, is now on the Switch. This version is much slower. There's more menu lag. There's like quite bad input delay. and like see, like not many people have like looked into it. I don't know exactly when it came out. To be fair, it might have only been a week or so ago, but yeah, like unless it like even taking like just from DC Neverender, who got the world record of 21:47. He's not planning to do any more runs unless there's an update to it, which there might be. I don't know how they've handled it with other games recently, because not just Pokemon Snap. There's also, as a brief aside, Puzzle League got announced either yesterday or 2 days ago, maybe, as of the time of this podcast. So maybe we'll be seeing that at some point in the future. Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty much everything with the N64 Snap on Switch. So moving on to the next run, Rising with Pokemon XD any percent, new world record, which is the first. I think this is the first world record in a good while. Someone could quickly check that. I can't remember if Smiley's world record got beaten recently, or if this was the one that beat Smiley's old world record. But a 4:24:34. Taking this from Ryzen, like incredible like look through the early game, which kind of got cancelled somewhat by the mid and late game range, like missing some ranges. The execution could be improved, and there's a few small note-related mistakes that need patching up. Coliseum and XD notes are notoriously difficult for like a lot of niche scenarios that need to be included. So there'll typically maybe be a few issues, especially because there was a recent reroute, because this will be with the Hidden Power Psychic route, which is
Oh right, yeah.
was mentioned a bit. Actually, this was mentioned a bit last month, so this is actually might have been a world record, like beating a relatively recent world record, actually, not Smiley's one from a few years ago.
Yeah, Smiley's was from 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Not sure what Ryzen's last run was.
I guess it would be a 4:26:24.
Yeah, so this beat Smiley's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant Smiley's was the record. Yeah.
Oh, Smiley's was record. Okay. So yeah, but with this being Hidden Power Psychic, which is believed to be quicker than Hidden Power Electric, new notes. There's always some teething issues. But that is Pokemon XD. Congratulations, Ryzen. Onto the PMD section, because there's a few runs there. This is Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, any percent, no Wonder Mail DS/3DS world record by Eponymous, a 5:29:04. Uses a Ryulu lead, which I believe is an older route, maybe, or at the very least Ryulu was used at some point, maybe not with Meowth. That was like one major note that Eponymous made about this, saying that Ryulu is still viable. But yeah, outside of that, I'll be honest, don't know too much, so we're going to move on to the next one, which is the first of Shuguma's PMD world records this month. This is for Gates to Infinity, any percent, no Wonder Mail, the Japanese 3DS world record. This comes in at 7 hours and 28 seconds. Not like the early Mystery Dungeon games, which tend to be quicker. There's not too much that can be like broken that's been found to get so far. But 39-second PB compared to previous world record, I believe. Shuguma's a very, very good Japanese Mystery Dungeon runner. I believe has most of the Japanese world records over I think over all of the Mystery Dungeon games. So congrats there. And then with the second one, this is Super Mystery Dungeon, any percent, no Wonder Mail, new 3DS. I believe also includes emulator, NTR at least. World record. This is a 6:48:48. From what I could gather, this is actually an over 30-minute PB from submitted runs. I don't know if there was some older splits, because these seem to be new splits there. But so I don't know if there is some other splits that might have had some times in the middle that were then never submitted. Only as good as the information that you have, I guess. But still, seemingly a very good run for this game. And last but not least, Poker Clicker. This is specifically Kanto Champion Clickless Codeless World Record. A 109.30. There's always a lot of Poker Clicker World Records. It's kind of hard to pick like one of them when there's a lot of them are like the same category but like very slightly different variations. The only reason why I specifically chose the codeless one, not codeless one, the clickless one. We haven't shown it before, and it's just interesting, at least to me, where it's an auto clicker game, but you're not allowed to click on the Pokemon at least. Obviously, you can see. Well, maybe you can see. You might have a small screen. You're allowed to click on the not Pokemon, where the Pokemon was spawned, but you are not. But you're able to click anywhere else, like use X items and such. There's apparently also a new patch with even more content. Thank you, Nikki. Also, hello, welcome in. I don't know how long you've been here. Was there anything that I may have missed with that? But either way, in the meantime, though, I guess, whilst maybe there is something. Shall we go into the past marathon runs?
Sure.
Yeah. Go ahead. Start
Good.
up. In chat, Kagu Nikki, with Power with Pride 2022. This is not the one that they did, because they also did another run in a race with Leggy Starscream. Legends Arceus beat Cleaver. Doing it as a race. This ended up being a 103.22 for Kagu Nikki, and then also a 104.34 for Leggy Starscream. And then if we quickly go back to the Kanto Champion Auto Clicker, that was a 17.54. I didn't get to watch these. Did either of you two manage to?
I did not.
No, I did not.
Alright, fair enough. But quickly go on to the next ones. I'm going to have to let one of you two just go through these quickly.
Yeah, so this is Meme RTA Marathon 2, and this is Inno doing BDSP reverse badge order. A little bit, or actually, never mind. I was going to say a little bit overestimate, but actually I can't read. 112.04 for the final time. So this is, a good showcase of BDSP glitches here, getting all the badges in reverse order. Also in the marathon, Buster Poke did the Heart Gold Soul Silver any percent glitchless Sint challenge. That was 3:52.47. Next one here, this was the Hero's Journey RPG Marathon. Diego Armando doing a crystal full item rando in a bit over 2.5 hours, 2:50 or 2:35.59. Seems like a really solid time for a full item rando. I don't know. I feel like there's different settings and stuff you can do with the full item rando, so I don't know what settings it was, but pretty safely underestimate with that run. And then lots and lots of Pokemon stuff in this marathon. So this was really their choice, put on by really Longathon. This was, or shown here is Corvame doing Alpha Sapphire Trade Alt Main Drifblim. Really cool showcase of her favorite Pokemon, but maybe not the best Pokemon in the world to get through a game. I know that the start of this run is always brutal because Roxanne is just a thing you have to deal with. Normally, like Gym Leader AI normally will like only go for a move like Rock Tomb if you're faster, and that way, a lot of mains can get through Roxanne even if they might be weak to rock moves, just because she'll Rock Tomb once, make sure that she's faster, and then start spamming Tackle. You can't tackle a Drifloon, so she kind of has to keep spamming Rock Tomb. So it's a very brutal fight, but it's good to see this run finish. This was a 3:25:48. Also in the marathon, just really quick, RDA did a Rumble Complete the Game, no passwords. Frozen Flygon, Corvamace, and Swoos19 did a Poke Clicker Co-op 151 Pokemon Auto Clicker Codes in 1:26:54. Nerd Squared did a BDSP any percent run in 1931. Halkery did Legends Arceus any percent, and that was in 3:53:44. Oh, I was on commentary for that. That was a good run. T-Pat, Thomas Patrick WX did Let's Go Eevee all obtainables. The run finished. There was no timer on screen. It was somewhere in the 5:40s. I do remember that time. So that was a pretty solid run. And then Dasfero did a Coliseum any percent run in 3:47:31. So lots of Pokemon in really long, really their choice, which was a really good marathon. All right, 3 marathons left. This was Bingothon Summer 2022. This is Rob the Gamer 115 doing Crystal Full Item Rando Triple Bingo. And this was in 4:08:04. And then obviously the big marathon here. This was Summer Games Done Quick 2022. And there were 4 runs here. There was Quo did Pokemon Snap, 250,000 points. It was a bonus game. It was the first bonus game of the marathon on day 1. And that run finished in 30:31. And then 4-way co-op run between Keyzeron, 360 Chrism, Shenanigans, and Adef in Emerald Evolution Chaos. If you haven't seen that run, you definitely need to. It was a really cool showcase. Basically what they did was every time they evolved, because it was evolution every level, every time they evolved, they would switch between who was playing. So, you can see right now 360 Chrism is playing, and then when he finishes the fight and evolves, then it'll go to Keys, and then after Keys it'll go to Shen, and so it just sort of went from there. It was a really cool run, and that finished in 3 hours 14 minutes and 4 seconds. They also got to do beat Steven at the end, which was kind of cool to see. It was a little anticlimactic. Steven was actually a bit easier than everything leading up to it, but it was still a good time. And then the last 2 were by me. This was Pokemon Shining Pearl any percent glitchless, and I finished this in 3:40:13. Pretty solid run overall. There was 1 death, but no resets. Like, I was able to save myself from the death. And yeah, so it was a really solid run overall. And then BDSP any percent as a bonus game on the final night, and that was in 17:21. Also pretty solid run. I thought I soft locked at one point, but I was able to get out of it, so it wasn't too bad.
Did you enjoy your runs?
I did. I'm very happy with how glitchless turned out. I think glitchless, there are so many ways to die in glitchless, and the fact that I died once to something that I should have just healed out of, like, I basically died to an untimely crit that I wasn't expecting. So I think it went really well.
Great. I'll let you do the last one as well. You've done good with this.
All right. So this was Finrun's Summer 2022. This must have been, this was like a couple days ago, or yesterday maybe.
This was earlier today, actually.
Earlier today.
Yeah.
And this is Kablemo. Not sure if I'm saying that right. Again, I apologize. This is the TCG any percent glitchless run, finished in 1:11:53.
Ryan, do you want to take the upcoming marathon run?
Sure. 1 second here. Yeah, so we got quite a few more coming up, and I know for a fact there's going to be lots of marathons coming up in the fall as well, because I've submitted a few runs to those. But just for this coming month, we have in Finrun Summer 2022. This looks like a Finnish speedrun. We have Oh, another great name. I'm gonna butcher. Koivuklapi doing Red Glitchless Classic. On the 9th of July at 10:30 UK time. That'll be about 5:30 Eastern time in the US and Canada. And then on the 15th of July, we have, the next marathon is Marathon SGES 2022. We've got 3 runs here. We have Zebus doing PMD Explorers of Sky Rando 10 Dungeon Blitz at 12:30 UK time. It's about 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. And then on the 17th of July at 11 a.m. or so UK time, 6 a.m. Eastern, we have Diego Lazo doing Omega Ruby any percent. And then finally, later on that day, at 10 to 3 UK time, which is about 10 to 10 Eastern time, we have Zebus doing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon BRT. My mind is slipping on
Blue
what
Rescue Team.
that stands for. Blue Rescue Team. There we go. Thank you. Any percent no QS.
No quick save.
No Wonder
No
Mail.
quick save. No
Quick
Wonder
save.
Mails.
I
I probably
quick
shouldn't.
save.
Probably should not have put them as acronyms.
I was thinking no quick save, but I didn't want to say something wrong. Yep. So 3 great runs to see there, and then later on this month, mid-July, we have the Australian Speedrunning Marathon, and Worcester will be running Heart Gold any percent Manipulus. Worcester's been doing a lot of runs of this, so it'll be definitely a good show for sure. And that run will be at just past midnight UK time, or it will be at about 7 p.m. Eastern time on the 15th of July. And we have the big European marathon coming up later towards the end of the month as well, which is ESA Summer 22. We have 3 runs. We've got Ava doing XD any percent on the 27th of July at 3:15 in the morning UK time. That'll be about 10:15 p.m. Eastern. On the 26th, we have, and then on the 29th, we have Chris Sosaurus doing Legends Arceus any percent at 4 p.m. UK time, which would be about 11 a.m. Eastern time. And then finally, we have Cruel doing trading card game, any percent no ace, on the 29th of July at about 8:30 p.m. UK time, which will be at about 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. So that'll be a good event to watch for sure. And then we got one more marathon that we found that will be coming up later this month, which is the Summer of Speedrun Love. And we have, this is a red any percent glitchless race between Nox Gaming 03 and the Stall Bebe. They'll be racing again red any percent glitchless at 4:10 p.m. Eastern time on the 30th of July, which will be at about 11:10 a.m. Eastern time. And I think that's it for marathon runs for July that are coming up later this month. And now it's time for everybody's favorite, the Leaderboard Roundup.
Well, actually, there is one thing before the Leaderboard Roundup, seeing as we are talking about marathons.
Oh,
PSR,
right, yeah.
PSR Marathon 2022 submissions, they are still open. They close on the late 18th or early 19th, depending on where you are in the world. Please submit. Submit. The link's in the, again, I'll put the link in the description, and it's also in Twitch chat for anyone who's watching this live right now. So yeah, anything Pokemon, feel free to submit. Yeah, now on to the Leaderboard Roundup. Again, if you happen to see any, feel free to point it out as I scroll down slowly. Actually, there's a couple up at the top already. Skip fast few. Gator in 26th with a 1:47.53 in red 80% glitchless, and then Nerdy Nerd 32 with 27th a 1:48.04.
A little bit of activity on the classic side as well, which is good.
Yeah, crafted in 4th with a 1:59.14. Yeah. 20th for Gator in any percent no save corruption with a 12:03. Talk to Guy RNG at end lost sub 12. Who's the
basically the very end of the run, what happens is you do like 3 glitched fights back to back to back. And the third one you have to walk to and you have to talk to the guy, and it's like a very laggy section where it only accepts your inputs for like a certain amount of time or something. I forget the exact details. But it can be actually difficult to talk to the guy. And so that's probably what's being talked about here. Just wasting a few seconds trying to talk to the guy to start the last battle.
That is quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
14th for Frank McFancy, a 1:24.914. Rogier in 15th with a 1:56.20 in yellow, any percent glitchless. Frank McFancy with 6th in any percent for a 1:24.144. Very much in the any percent mood. Specifically Gen 1, I guess. Few Gen 2 runs. 13th for Tuckler Rat in Maniplus. Day 3:33.57. And then Concert focusing on Crystal this past month, or since the beginning of the month apparently even. 17th for 80% glitchless. Oh, it's the same run. So it was a Maniplus run in 3:22.16. Apparently an amazing Totodile. Walks into Junks to Joey. Bellsprout YOLO Ball. Late Poly 3 spinners and YOLO the Lake of Rage spinner. And Douglas because of all that. There it is. Congratulations. 4th place for Good at Being Simple in, I assume, Sapphire, 80% glitchless specifically, with a 1:58.35.
Good time.
Yeah, that's like a minute, like under a minute 20 behind world record.
Yeah,
so definitely getting close. 5th place for Macwing with a 3:32.09 in Elite 4 round 2 by Red Leaf Green. Really doing a bit of Pokemon Emerald. 29th, a 2:51.37 first run. And then
Expect to see that time go down quickly.
yeah, assuming that Truly's still focusing on Emerald, I assume. I thought I saw him doing different runs actually. I feel like maybe I'm wrong in this. Might be doing 3DS stuff for the competition, or maybe just like doing a little bit, like maybe like switching it up every now and then.
Yeah, it looks like the last week or so it's been XY on his past broadcasts.
Trying to hold back saying I feel sorry for Truly. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, 80% glitchless. 7th for Daniel 0114, a 4:18.20. 4:18.23. And then Scoa in 5th for 80% with a 2:05.06. First run apparently. For the return of Scoa to Pokemon. Always excited to see. 4th place for Tuckler Rat in White 2. 3:12.18. I assume it's White 2 because I believe Black 2 is meant to be much worse.
Yeah, it's actually Tucker got 4th in both any percent and challenge mode.
Oh,
so that's exciting.
A 3:20.18. First run, many saves, resets, and flinches. Winky face. XY Ekman with a 342.03. Primal Pizza in 11th with a 348.18. Goran in 20th with a 356.27. And then Zypotic with a 402.09.
Yeah, we're gonna see probably the next couple months a lot of movement in the 3DS world, just with the competition.
Truly in third. Omega Ruby, a 254.14. And like Zypotic with a 257.22. Wartime with a 258.19. Groucho Box with a 325. What is that comment? That's a comment.
Always is.
Always is. And then Headballs Runner mentioned earlier. I didn't realize Truly got a 254 though.
Yeah,
Really good
I
run.
think Truly
Really.
had a 254.40 something. I want to say maybe it was 50. I don't remember, but yeah, this was like a 30 to 40 second PB, on basically a D-rest run.
Yeah. Fair play.
Yeah.
Sun Moon Primal Pizza hit 502.32. Full Strength Gamer in third for the 3DS category, a 518.18. And then Gonzi with the Emerson Japanese second place, a 538.33. That's the thing about the 3DS competition. There's gonna be runs for Sun Moon and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Third place for the 4th gen gamer, 545.56. And then 7th for Primal Pizza with a 601.52. Primal was at GDQ. Cool to meet Primal. Very tall. But then again, to be fair, everyone to me is like very tall. But like still. 5th place for Kick and Run, a 302.49 in Let's Go. Let's Go Pikachu, any percent no mount skips. And then 8th for Randall Eats Cheese, a 304.07. I assume Randall's still doing like handheld mode.
I'll double check. Because I actually don't know.
Did he get a capture card? I'm not sure.
Not sure. Doesn't need to, apparently. Like, still getting good runs even with the lag. In the meantime, though, 20th for Saijay in 80% no mount skips on Eevee, a 309.56. All obtainable Pokemon Kick and Run in 10th with a 542.26. Good
Can
luck
I
on
just say
side
real
there.
quick? Well, I was just gonna say the fact that top 20 in Eevee is all sub 310 is pretty wild to me.
That's
wow.
impressive.
And yes, Randall's video is a video of the undocked Switch.
Nice.
So
I need to mention this. I've been requested to mention this for yeah, it was for AOP, wasn't it? I think it was for AOP. All top 5 runs announced so far? Or was that Diploma?
for Diploma,
Diploma.
all top 5 is sub 5. That's what it is.
Massive. Requested by Joker Sleeps to say this. But yeah. Just looking. Peugeot with the 80% sword English Turbo world record. Because Turbo has now been moved over for sword. For shield. Oh, well, it was done a while ago. Just no one had done runs. At least that was my understanding of it all. But yeah, that has been specifically set up on the main board. Japanese runners have then took to the English runs. Well, Japanese runners and GL Phoenix with 80% DLC. Phoenix very much an 80% with DLC runner. I believe they've done 80% as well, but 80% with DLC is like their run, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also Morgrim. Morgrim with the second place, a 4:08:07. Bit of a shame that you don't actually get to see what Pokemon like in this, but that'd be a nightmare to add. So not happening anytime soon. We didn't go over this because we put your better in, but Eddaket with a world record of 3:18:30 in Shining Pearl with Turbo.
Yeah. That one was I talked about it a bit on my stream the other day, but I was like, I felt really, really, really rusty when coming back to the game and like prepping for GDQ. And so I was doing a bunch of runs with Turbo just because I was like, I can't PB anyways. And then I like blew my PB out of the water because I had such a good start.
Yeah.
And I was like, ah, crap. And so obviously I had to prepare with music on. And so I basically, after this run, I didn't have a chance to like actually grind until this week, more or less.
And then you get world record for both.
Well, I don't have Brilliant Diamond yet, but
Oh well, sorry. When I said both, I meant turbo and non-turbo. But
right.
Though yes, you have not got the Brilliant Diamond one. I assume yet, to be fair, because you're getting very close. Someone else who is getting very close, Thomas Patrick WX, a 3:24:46, in second place on physical as well. So that is that's massive.
Yeah, and the funny thing about T-Pat's time is T-Pat had a so his old PB when starting June was a 3:34, and then got a 3:31 with music on.
Oh yeah.
So like his outright PB was with music until he got the 3:24 the other day.
The real question is, when is turbo and non-turbo going to get combined? Because there is no benefit for turbo.
We'll see.
Lens Arceus, Hulk with the 80% English with with turbo, a 3:55:31. Done in a marathon apparently. There's a marathon run, so I assume that's all. I was gonna say that was marathon PB, but was the run earlier that we showed quicker? Oh, we didn't show it specifically, but there was a marathon run that was a 3:53:44, which you said you commentated.
Yeah, and he definitely switched to turbo at some point during that run, so it's probably just a lack of submitting.
Yeah, which fair.
Yeah.
Catch them all, no turbo. Video Gamer X in second with a 9:05:47.
Yeah, both Shady and Halk are pushing for the sub 9. I think Halk is literally on a run right now.
Nice. And then also Blooddog in fourth, very close to the sub 10, a 10:06:46. Alpha Alakazam apparently took 58 balls and almost 9 minutes to catch. That's rough. Pokemon Stadium 30th in Gym Leader Castle Round 1 for Charlie Stradlin, a 1:39:01. PBR Pokemon Battle Revolution, low percent round 1 with Nate. Third place for Psychic Champion, a 4:37:40. Mentioned before for the marathon run, but Kablemo with the TCG Pokemon Trading Card Game, 80% glitchless, 34th, a 1:03:07. Few 80% on Switch runs for Pokemon Snap. Again, this being a new category. Quite a few runs there, few people curious, but again, from what it sounds like, there won't be too many people that'll be running that. Or like focusing specifically on that, especially if they have another way to play it. So 100% on Switch, first place for Sig with a 33:30, which is less than 3 minutes slower than the any percent time. That seems like a very much like a snap thing. 100% being close to any percent. And then also 250k points with a new world record for Quo. 26:18.5. I assume is part of practice for GDQ.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. New Pokemon Snap, all Pokemon 2.x. So, the updated version. Noob in second with a 4:08.56. Pokemon Coliseum, 5th place for Dasfero. In any percent no snags, a 3:56.04. Pokemon XD, even this year, with a 6th place time of 4:29.49, and then Dasfero in 15th with a 4:40.51. The fact that there's 200% runs for XD is something.
In the same month, yeah.
In the same month, yes. I know. To be fair, I was aware that there's like a few people that are planning to do it, and I mean, I watched Ava's run, or part of Ava's run. But in second place there with a sub 20, 19:56.14, and then Lord Nando with a 20:41.41 in third. It's I don't remember who it was, but I know there's at least one more person that's planning to do it over like the summer months. So fair play to anyone who's willing to do 100% in any category. Or any long category, not even limited to 100%.
So is that catch them all? I'm guessing.
That's catch them all. Go through. Well, you have to go through Mountain Battle, I believe, to get them, or like to get all the snags, like snag them.
Yeah. Jeez.
Do all the battle CDs, I think. Not I think it definitely. In fact, there's probably a rule
I'd
set.
purify them all too. Wow.
Yeah, purify them all. I'm going to get the rule set. That's the 80% rule set. That is not what I need. There we go. So beat the game, which fair enough. Snag and purify all 83 Shadow Pokemon. Clear all 50 battle CD related to sim battles. Clear all 11 battle bingo cards. They were my favorite as a kid. Complete post-game Lucky Egg side quest. Couldn't even tell you what that was. Win at least one knockout challenge at each of the... or at Pyrite Coliseum, Tower Coliseum, and All Coliseum. Defeat Justy, which is the pre-gym leader in Phoenix City. And then receive the Johto starter for Mountain Battle, which is what you get after doing all 100 fights in a row. That's the thing. Oh, and then you gotta defeat Grievel again, because that's an extra cutscene.
Good
Is
category.
there an extra Mirror B fight at least?
You have to fight Mirror B to get one of the Shadow Pokemon at the very end. That's when you've got all the other Shadow Pokemon,
Okay.
I believe.
More salsa is always good.
More salsa it is always good, and the XD theme is better. Just gonna throw that out there. Yeah, you can fight Mirror B in the Coliseum fights, essentially. Yeah, Mirror B has the Shadow Dragonite. You are allowed to sleep. You don't have to sit there. I don't know if Ava slept. I don't know if Nando slept. But you can sleep. You are not made to stay awake for the entire time. Ava, you fool. I say that as someone who's done like 20-hour runs as well and stayed awake. Which means I know to call you a fool. I know that. Because I've experienced it. Anyway though. We're gonna move on. We're like just over halfway through the leaderboard roundup. Fourth place for SBD Wolf, a 2:48.08 in any percent, no quick save, no Wonder Mail, English, DS, 3DS, GBA. Yes. eponymous with the Beat Darkrai, No Wonder Mail English DS 3DS World Record in Explorers of Time or Darkness is one of them. Congrats there. That was an 8:34:24. Very busy month for eponymous. Another Beat Darkrai for Explorers of Sky. In 9:38:47 for eponymous, and then going to the Japanese side of the category on Wii U, Uranus with a 7:54:47. We've gone through the other Mystery Dungeon ones there, but we have not mentioned Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, 8th place in 80% No Wonder Mail on the English version for Bethesda. Oh no, Shifasada, I'm going with that. A 3:21:32. I apologize if I got your name wrong. Pokemon Rumble, any percent console, no passwords. 11th for Dipstick 999. A 46:48. Phantom with a couple of PBs in Poke Park Wii, including the All Friends English/PAL version. A 7:01:45. Ian, the resident fan game and ROM hack person. Yeah. What is Pokemon Snakewood? I feel like that is a new game, but I might be wrong.
It's actually a very, very old ROM hack. It's like 12 years old.
Oh.
It's it's a little bit edgy, but it's not as bad as some of the really other edgy ROM hacks that have come out since. There's a lot of zombies and whatnot in it, so it's got that kind of spin.
Again,
I actually looked at, so I actually Lime ran this like a few weeks ago, and I actually picked this up to look at the route as well. I had actually looked at it like 3 years ago, but kind of stopped looking at it. The start of the game is really rough. The starters are like Coughing, Baltoy, and I don't even remember what the third one is, but it's the worst of the three. And pretty much you have to. There's one, but there's one fight where you need I think it's just faster to use Baltoy, but the problem with Baltoy is you need Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb's level 15, and you need to grind on Wilds for 7 levels to get to level 15. So the start is really slow. But Coughing has a bad moveset. I don't think it's that good. And then you catch this thing, which is called Quill Shark. So it's the evolution of Quillfish. It evolves at level 33. It's a fake Mon, obviously. And so what Lime did here is I think you can catch really high level Quillfish, up to level 35, pretty early on when you have a level 20. Level 20 starter. So it's a huge upgrade right away. Lime pretty much just used a repel and then grinded for one, random one. But I've actually made him a nip for this, so I'll be doing probably a run of this in the next week or so with the Manipped. Unfortunately, because it's a pretty rare encounter, the stats aren't very good on it. You have to wait a decent amount of time, and the IVs aren't great. It's okay. It's not horrible, but the nature's naive, so that's not really great for a speed, not something you typically see. So having consistent stats is obviously good.
It's worth it enough to do a minute, I guess.
Yeah, because you could just wait a long time. You could be grinding for encounters forever for a long time, wasting time trying to get one. You could get really bad stats on it too, even worse. The attack is 22 IV and the special attack is 24. Although there is a second one 3 frames away, which is neutral nature, but it has 10 attack and 28 special attack. So it's a little bit, it has better defenses. So they're kind of about the same, but it's just tricky to find. You can't get to anything quite on the caliber of typical Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Mudkip, for example. I did actually find one while routing that's level 23, level 23 Quillfish with comparable IVs to the naughty mudkips that are used in vanilla, and it is naughty as well. So that would be insane if it was higher level, but it's just too low level to work really well. So, but yeah, this run is probably going to be around 440 or so, I think. Maybe a bit faster. Lime got a 5:11. I think we can definitely get it down half an hour more. But yeah, this section of the run that you're seeing on screen is really bad. You're kind of forced to walk across all these tiles, and I think there's 16 of them you have to walk across. So you just run from 16 encounters. So it's one of those games.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it's got some weird moments, it's got some slow moments, and there's a bit of a few grindy sections, but it's a pretty interesting run. There's a lot of weird fake mon and whatnot. So
Yeah.
yeah, just more of a fun game to route. I'm not sure if I'll do too many runs of it. It's just kind of long too. So, and a bunch of the items have different names too, so you can see.
I just got that off. I didn't
the
notice
X items
that.
are the X items are called Attack Plus and Special Plus, but yeah, pretty much the same thing. Yeah, well, we might see more of those runs in the next few months. Who knows?
We'll look out for them then. Still 12 years old, that's... Oh, fair play. I've never heard of that. And granted, I'm not a fan game ROM hack person, but...
Yeah, it's definitely predates. It doesn't have a lot of the later game mechanics. A lot of ROM hacks have just added everything under the sun, which make them kind of annoying to try speedrunning. But this it's pretty minimalistic, which works quite well.
Yeah. I do find it funny as well. There's an evolution for Quillfish, but obviously it's not the evolution for Quillfish now.
No, it's not over Quill.
Poker Clicker, there's a lot of runs. Thunder Wizards popping off again with tutorial. Sean H. Crossley as well. But here we go with the first one. Tutorial normal codeless. Thunder Wizards 32.012. Sean H. Crossley for clickless 8248.406. And then for auto clicker, Thunder Wizard with a 41.312. Then very similar in codes for who actually got them. First for Thunder Wizard with 31.663. Clickless, Sean H. Crossley with a 139.169. And then auto clicker, Thunder Wizard with a 34.708. Kanto Champion Clickless, we went over that earlier, but for auto clicker, Sean H. Crossley again with a 1505.677. For normal, Woo with a 2526.056. In the codes version of that category. Clickless codes for Kanto Champion, Sean H. Crossley with a 5752.106. And then in the auto clicker version of that, Sean with a 1431.003. Then TJ Wombo with the 151 clickless codeless world record a 632.46.22. Some alt mains for Pokemon Fire Red Leaf Green Plus. Next level memes with both of them, a 157.17 and a 153.10 for Fearow and Gengar respectively. Pocket Crystal League, any percent for B Ternary Tau with a 201.58. And then also Resolution Mode, a 101.53. Do you have any context for that, Ian?
I do. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
Where did I think she posted something on the Ternary's female. I don't know where. Yeah, I don't know where the context is, but I can at least pull up the leaderboard and I can check the rules. But it's a shorter category.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a pretty popular game, just to play. I don't think there's much speedrunning activity on it, but there's been a lot of
Oh, what
work
is
done
this?
to kind of. It's kind of like trading card game. Yeah.
Oh. I was not thinking that, to be fair. But then again,
Okay.
I
The
don't know
rules
what
do
I was
not
thinking.
explain what resolution mode is, but it's. I remember seeing it somewhere. It might actually be in the Discord. I'm not sure. Resolution mode.
This seems like an interesting game, though.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a bit of a learning curve to actually learn how to do it, but because like they're going pretty fast here.
Yeah.
I don't really understand what's happening. It's definitely something you have to put some time into.
You say it seemed to be more popular, more casual side compared to speedrunning.
Yeah, the Discord has like a few hundred people in it, so
Okay.
there's definitely some activity there. Sorry, I cannot explain what resolution mode is. Hopefully, I can get that answer for you guys next time. I'm trying to find
thread. What's the thread? Nope, it's just asking about. And it says you can only change which challenge mode of the game will use after you leave the title screen. It's at the time when. It must just be an option.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay, there. Yeah, it's on that forum. Yeah, I'm reading it somewhere.
I guess it's just a mode, or like a difficulty version, perhaps. Oh, it's a form of the challenge mode. It's like, so I guess it's like black, white. Is it black, white 2 or 1 where you can do like easy mode and hard mode? It might be similar to that.
2.
2. Thank you.
2, yeah. Yeah, so the description on the first run they did removes the city outskirts so infinite grinding is impossible. Compensates by lengthening the routes, tripling most monetary rewards.
How do you not know this? You're a moderate. You're a super mod for this.
I added the game, and that's pretty much all I've done.
I figured that's probably the case for a lot of the fan games, because there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of games that are like this one, which I don't really have much familiarity with. I just add them to the series. The series is it's a very mixed bag. The games that are closer to like classic Gen 1, Gen 2, all the way up to Gen 5, we have on this board or in this series. Those games I'm much more familiar with than this one. Well, I think the game looks really cool. I just never really spent much time looking at it. Yeah.
It seemed interesting. Category extension. 80% no item underflow. Second for Etienne with a 2020. Detepich with the world record for alt main Poets Clefable, a 151.51. That now I'm guessing the fastest alt main, based on the comment. I would feel like not, because alt main maybe, because custom start is Mewtwo there. Where the world record is a 139.51 apparently.
I wonder what the Blastoise time is. Curious about that.
I will let someone else have a look as we continue.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find that.
Eat Misty 7th for Timmy with a 40.34. And then second for Gator in Softlock the Game, a 221.178. In B as well in 10th with a 3.59. Iron?
Yeah, Blastoise is a 153.
Alright.
2 minutes. Yeah, Clefable is just really good. I think we might. I'm not sure if we'll see any this month, but I think last month there were some Clefable Fire Red Leaf Green alt main runs, and that's a very good bond for Fire Red Leaf Green as well.
I think we actually might. I feel like Ananan, was it maybe Ananan who was like, just missing out on world record?
Really grinded out on that.
Yeah.
I think, he might have gotten record. I'm not sure.
We'll find out in a moment. But first, Gold, Silver, Crystal category extensions. Has that one been split up yet? I don't think it has, right?
No.
Well, either way, lots of world records, or I assume just new ones in general for the custom starter side of things. Concert with Lapras, a 352.53. Beedrill, good job, Mr. 2% with a 425.30. And then same person with a 439 flat with Arbok. And also, Softlock the Game, world record for Wolf Gaming, 2203 with a 159.41. There we go, there's Alanan with the Clefable world record, a 215.41. And then a lot of a lot from Next Level memes for alt mains. Fiero, Kadabra, Mr. Mime, and Vaporeon, all world records with 333.40, 253.16, 304.13, and 308 flat, respectively. Bouncing second for Manipulus, any percent for Heart Gold Soul Silver, a 212.57. Suji with the Manipulus 80% world record for the Japanese version of it, a 211.14. And then Dexy with the alt main for Alligator on Japanese, 336.59. Headbob with more Auras alt mains, Azumarill and Blaziken both world records, a 317 flat and a 322.04 respectively. Etchy with a couple of alt mains in Let's Go. Alt main pokes Eevee and alt main pokes Venusaur, 318.57 and 329.38 respectively. I believe they were done as part of his Patreon. All these Venusaur was. I'm not sure about Eevee. I feel like Eevee would be as well. But
Venusaur sounds like an interesting one.
if anyone was going to find that interesting, it would be you, Ian. Fourth place for APHO with the Alt Root Candy Floss, a 409.24. Then fifth for Yoshida Shu, a 410.48. Alt Roots Cinderace, third place for Morgrim, a 429.22. Leggy Starscream with a very old main Espeon run, 410.24. That's a world record there. Apparently, sub 4 is possible if anyone wants to push for that. Snarum with the Kingler Trade-Up main, a 356.30. Then New Amber with the Trade-Up main Vaporeon, a 357.16. Even more Trade-Up mains. I would not be surprised if we're over 80 at this point. I know it's definitely over 70. I'm not sure if it's over 80 yet. New Get to Calyrex world record, Spider Sea with a 117.20. Also just a bit up. Tower of Two Fists Get Urshifu. Second place at Spider Sea, a 127.21. Minus Bidef Clubfu. Able to make it neutral with a mid.
Probably
How much of
minus
a detour is that?
Not at all. You can get mints on the way. The Soothing Wetlands, which you have to go through on the way to the.
It's just an item
forest.
you can pick up, right?
Yeah, it's a hidden item you can pick up. And there's like 3 spawns that are close to the entrance to the thing.
Oh, is it like one of those random hidden items that you kind of have to get lucky for? Oh, okay.
Yeah, also not minus Bidef, minus speed. I will say, I've never thought about picking up mints. I've never thought of that. Fair play. That's a really good strat because like you have to. It's hard to get a good Kung-Fu. Like it's quite hard.
Could you I guess I don't know if you could. Would mints be useful in the don't get Urshifu category as well?
No. Because you're just using Sobble.
Oh, but yeah, I guess yeah. I mean, if maybe your stats, if you need to boost your stats in any way.
I guess if you want to try and go for
if it can make it to the tower, then sure, it might be fine.
Yeah, if you maybe for like a lower I try to think maybe I
do.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was just saying maybe for like anything that's like 15 to low 20 IVs, maybe you could go for it. Like you could have a quick check
For special attack, yeah.
Yeah, for like post special attack, but
yeah.
I just don't typically take those in the first place.
One
So
one place I think it could help for Shield is that
oh, Shield, yeah, of course, Shield's different.
I've spent a lot of time routing like the Shield version of that, and if you have really bad HP and special defense on a minus nature, you cannot beat, or you're very, very likely to die to the last Avery fight because his Ponyta destroys you. So if you have, in that particular case, you might be able to make it work with mints for the special defense.
Yeah, that's definitely not a bad idea. That's a good one, I would say.
Yeah, there's actually an option. I don't want to get too carried away with
Go
this,
ahead.
but I did play around with candying at different locations as well, depending on how bad your stats are. So one thing I have done is candied before the Avery fight instead of after, with a low special defense, and that helps as well. So the mitts just adds more flexibility as well. That's something definitely worth looking into. Props to Spider for they've spent a lot of time on those DLC categories in the last few months, so good to see.
Yeah, because like I know Spider, it didn't work out in the end because of how the weather's locked. But Spider was also looking at new dates to do the runs on to try and get rain. For the Clara 1 fight, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the weather was locked by that fight.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, I was wondering what that was about when they were asking.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Apparently,
yeah.
Lucky find. Yeah. Hey, Spider.
Yeah,
that's very interesting.
That is interesting. That's a good idea. I would never have thought of that. I never would have thought to think about the mints there. Because like, why would I ever think of mints? But maybe it should be, or maybe I should have. But anyway, Dynamax Adventures, second place for Shallow Bear and Jet Ninja, a 10-23 for the 2-player version. For the 3-player version, Walltab, Uber Mage, and Hooker Lirat with the 8-28, and then for the 4-player mode, them all again with Ekman as well, a 6-43. Fourth place in BGSP Alt Route Cypher, Psychic Champion with a 40505. Third place for Alt Main Mew on the Japanese version, a 34247 for Yoshida Shu. And then Kojia in 5th with a 41044. Elite 4 round 2 and Elite 4 round 3. Elite 4 round 3 especially aspect, routing that out. Getting a 444.47 there, and then for round 2 a 412.24.
That's a lot of please don't crit me, I'm guessing.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe got moved to the main board at some point.
There's a lot of stuff that has to happen with the Switch leaderboards. That's
yeah.
one of them.
Yeah. Get Ushfuse and don't get Ushfuse, and then get Calyrex as well. Should be hopefully happening soon as well. Reverse badge order. Second place for Yoshida Shu, a 102.59 on the English version. Then for the Japanese versions, Ino with the world record, a 105.27. Second place for Yoshida Shu with a 106.06. A new crash percent Japanese world record, 33 seconds for Buster Poke. That's 2 seconds clear. 2 seconds clear of second place. Wow.
Yeah, it usually happens at the end of the intro. And Buster is very good at mashing the intro.
Fair. Bully Melly. Titan makes music with the world record, a 20:45. What is that category?
I think you're supposed to throw as many things as you can at melee. Like one of every throwable item or something. Yep.
Like every throwable item. Oh, there is a throwable items tracker on the bottom. Okay. You know what? People have ideas. People have ideas.
What is this? Wait, so sorry,
Yeah.
I might have missed it. Like, how much stuff do you have to throw at her?
Let me get the let's look at the tracker at the bottom. How many is that? So it's
Is it like
1, 2,
every possible item?
yeah, every possible throwable item, I think so. Oh, 36. Wait, 43 items. I think that is.
There's a throwable item tracker.
Yeah, there's a throwable
I
item
made
tracker.
that. Why melee? Just out of curiosity.
Because no one likes
What could
melee.
it-
No
Fair
one
enough.
likes melee.
I
Well, I say
can't
no one likes
remember
melee.
exactly.
There's definitely people who like melee. May, May, for example. May actually like with the emote chat, but well, not May in the chat, but you know what I mean. Like May's emote in chat.
Nice.
But yeah, melee. I'm not a melee fan personally. But yeah, last few here. So we'll go through them quickly. Stadium transfers, gym leader castle round 1. Ivan Cipher? No, Ivan Cipher, maybe. With a 143.37 in 3rd place. For PBR, Sunny Park round 2 with transfers. Game Draco with a 20.56. Snap, 100% Wonderful on Switch. CC Neverender a 34.40. And then finally Magikarp on the Wii U, or no, Wii Virtual Console. A 2nd place time for Jim B with a 19 flat. That is it. That is the leaderboard roundup complete. The next podcast should be on August 6th. Which is... that's probably 4 weeks away, to be fair. Normally it would have been 5. It wasn't too bad that this podcast was technically a week late. It was one of the few months where it kind of works out.
Oh, good, yeah.
Feel free to follow any of us podcast hosts. Eddaket was at GTQ.
Yes.
I think it's very good. I did not get to meet at GTQ. Maybe one day we'll get to meet.
Perhaps, yes.
Maybe. Yeah. I may as well also very quickly, just because two of us in here on the podcast are helping to organize this. Please submit to the PSR Marathon. The more runs to choose from, the better.
Yep.
Any other things you'd like to say?
No, thanks.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so have a good rest of the day, evening, wherever you are. Stay safe, take care. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.